welcome, welcome to the first annual Regional Entrepreneur Cafe. We are thrilled that you all are here with us tonight. This has been a long and, I don't want to say tedious because it hasn't been tedious, but a very long work in progress by a number of individuals. Many are in this room tonight that were part of the steering committee. I would like to take just a quick second to introduce them. First of all, my name is Leslie Currle. I'm with People Incorporated. I was on that steering committee. We also have Felicia Hart here with us, Janet Michael with Java Media, Marla Jones, just wave when I call your name. Marla's with the Warren County EDA, Jenna French with Shenandoah County Tourism, Marilyn, I'll get to you in a second. She's our keynote speaker tonight. We have Darla Guvermont with Distinctions. Andrew Gauldin is one of our speakers tonight as well. And Dale Meza from the Lower Fairfax SBDC. So thank you very much. I also, in just a second, want to give you guys an opportunity to introduce yourselves as well and just give us your name and what your business is so we can understand who else that we have in the room. And once we do that, we're going to take a few moments to go over all of the paperwork that you have on your that you picked up as you came in. Just to give you a better understanding of how this whole program works, what you're competing for, some of the nitty-gritty details. So we'll try not to spend too much time on that because I know you want to get started and start learning. But before we do that, if we could just go around the room and if you could introduce yourselves, tell us your name and your business, that would be wonderful. We'll start with you.
My name is Marissa DeMello. My company is Organization Solutions. I organize people's lives, decluttering, and helping them simplify.
Hi everyone, my name is Catherine Rogers, and my business is called Nourish. I'm at 20 South Braddock Street. I'm a holistic health coach, and I help my clients reach their holistic health goals.
Well, I'm Bill Long. I fix cars. I shop over here in 522. Enjoy learning, so I'm always here.
Hi, I'm Kelly Molyneux with Maid's Party Cleaning Service. We do everything from everyday cleaning to move-in, move-out cleanings, to deep cleanings, and we also specialize in party and event cleaning as well. Wonderful.
Oh, Heidi. Okay. Hi, I'm Heidi Hiller, and I'm here for the education component only. I'll breathe a sigh of relief. We don't have to know the business. Professionally, I do financial reporting now for my company.
My name is Mark Harris. I run Red Free Adventure. We're an outdoor endurance sports company. We put on half marathons, mountain bike, trail running events, venture races all around the East Coast, and we hope to enable people to have the best adventure.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're just going to finish on this side, make it easier.
Hi, I'm Amanda Poland, and like Hillary, I'm also here for planning. I'm in the pre-planning phase of my business, and my day job is as government monkey.
Hi, my name is Catherine Scott. My husband Nathan and I just started our own IT company in Front Royal, and we do everything from servers to websites to security to managed services. So any computer needs, basically for small to mid-sized businesses, that's what we do.
Awesome. Christian.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Pavement, and today I am resident keg monkey, cleaning up kegs and lines and things like that. We run we have a farm-to-table tap house in a renovated 1965 gas station in Front Royal.
Neat place.
I'm Laura Gomez. This is Gary Phillips, and we own Route 11 Outfitters, which is in Woodstock, Virginia, and we do kayak and tube rentals on the North Fork.
I'm Maren Jones-Ferreira, and I work with my family's interior design and drapery workroom, and I'm also here just for the educational component, but I'm restructuring a 30-year-old business to fit the 21st century.
John Guskowski with June W Farms. We do value-added agriculture products, using mostly apple products.
My name's Eli White. I'm working on developing a business called Island, which will be rentals of vintage trailers on a homestead property. And my family has just outside of Lancaster, and then they will be available to take off the property for special events as well.
Awesome.
So I'm into Airstreams, can-hams, GNCs.
I'm Kim Johnson, and my business is Fringe Vintage, and I do costuming and era-specific costuming and props and photo booths, and I help you tell your story or take your party to the next level.
My name is Madison Savarese, and my business is Moxie Enterprises. I do a lot of event coordinating and project management, specifically in sports right now, but I really want to expand into nonprofits and beyond that.
Fabulous. How about Lorraine?
Leah.
I know you guys can't see them. Oh, you can. Can we get you guys to introduce yourselves over there?
Sure. Hi, I'm Leah Pence, and I own a company called Another Wild Hair, and we do event coordination as well as full wedding design.
Excellent.
Hi, Amy Fisher-Chan. I own Bijou Sweet Treats. We make wedding cakes and do specialty dessert catering for weddings and special functions.
I'm Gina Hilliard. I'm the president of the Luray Page County Chamber of Commerce.
Great to have you. Can you guys hear us okay?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. Okay, so we're going to take just a couple moments to go through some of the handouts that you got, just so we can walk through the program. Tonight is week 1 of your training components. You're going to be with us for 6 weeks, and then the final event. So you can see through here some of the topics that we're going to be covering. And one thing I want to mention, the educational components tonight through Module 4 are not required. However, I would recommend, if you can, attend them. That would be really awesome. There's going to be some great stuff, some great topics, and some great people to connect with. And we'll talk about it in just a second, but a piece of your final overall score will include participation. So I just want to throw that out there. And it's not to be missed, because who would want to miss any of that? So you'll see we've got Module 1 through 4 covered. Module 5, throughout this program, you're going to be writing a business plan if you don't already have one. If you have one, you might want to go back and dust it off and take a look at it and make some changes to it, because we're going to be giving you a lot of information that might be helpful in your business plan. So if you are competing and not just here for the educational component, you're going to want to submit your business plan on March 30th. At the start of that. And on that night, we're going to bring in someone, we're going to talk about some great stuff, but we're also going to bring in someone from Toastmasters. We're going to help you develop your pitch. We're going to do some pitch practices so that you feel comfortable getting up in front of the group and in front of the judges to confidently pitch your business and your business idea. And then on the 6th week, that's when you're actually going to pitch your business, do your pitch in front of the pitch night judges. At that time, we will have already scored your business plans and totaled up your scores, so we will know which 5 are moving on to the final competition. So stay with us through the whole thing. This is going to be a lot of fun. The other thing I wanted to mention about that, on the 6th night, we'll also have a great panel of local business leaders and people that you can bounce questions off of, and they can kind of talk about their success stories, and it's another group that you can network with as well. The next page that you have in here is the awards criteria overview. As I was mentioning, this is how your overall plan and participation and everything is going to be scored. As you can see, 50% of that score is going to be your written business plan. So you want to be here, be present, because you're going to get a lot of tools that you need to help you with that business plan. Pitch night performance is factored in there, as well as your participation. And then the last thing that's on here, and I want to throw this out now, is matching to the community needs, support from the community, outreach to the community via chambers, business associations, partnerships, knowledge of town and county business requirements. it would really be in your best interest to start reaching out if you don't already know some of these connections. The SBDC is a great one. Your chambers are great ones. But start reaching out to some of these other local organizations to see how you can grow your business through them, how you can partner with them, and create that partnership, because that's what those organizations are there for. The next document you have, this is how your business plan is actually going to be graded, and I think it's important to give that to you up front, just so you know going in, what are the kinds of things the judges are going to be looking for. So you can see it's several pages long. They all have points assigned. There's detail with the points that tell you exactly what they're looking for. So we wanted you to have that just to be aware. The next document you have is the pitch night presentation guide. This is just telling you what you want to be prepared for on your pitch night. Now, a lot of people look right at it and they zero right in on no PowerPoint, no videos. Don't worry. You got this. And the reason for that is most of the time that you're trying to talk to somebody about your business, let's say you're, meet somebody in an elevator, that's what they call an elevator pitch, you don't have access to PowerPoint or videos. You need to be able to talk confidently about your business. And so that's one of the things we're going to help you prepare for leading up to it. Now, you are allowed visual presentations. So if you have product samples, if you have samples of your work. I don't know if we have room on stage for a car, but you can demonstrate how quickly you can do something with a car. Those kind of things are allowed, but not just something you pop in the computer and stand here and click and use that as your voice. The last couple of documents are more, they'll come later. One of them is guidelines for use of award money. This is really just to let you know we will provide you a ceremonious check for $5,000, but in the end you won't just be handed $5,000. It does need to be for business purposes for the purpose that you state. So we will be either reimbursing you for funds or paying those vendors directly. But there are some other fantastic in-kind marketing incentives that you'll get that our marketing team will talk about as well. This is just a release of funds request. Again, you don't need to worry about that now. That comes later. And finally, there's a publicity release form. One of the things we really want to do is really promote this event. This is really exciting. We want you to share with the world that you're participating in it as well. Janet will talk a little bit more about marketing and publicity in just a second, but that's another one of the forms. And finally, you should have a training evaluation form. Please take the time before you leave tonight. We will be collecting these at the door. Your feedback is really, really important to us. It'll help us shape things for next year. It'll help us shape things for the next class. So please give us your feedback. That's very, very important. And I think that is it. I would like to introduce Janet Michael with Java Media. She is part of our team, and she's going to talk about, just for a second, about the, again, marketing this program to all of the community.
I'm dragging Felicia over.
And Felicia Hart.
Yes. All of you should have a copy of the publicity release form. Part of what we want to do going forward is make sure that it's okay that we're using your photos on our Facebook page, on our website. We're going to be taking photos throughout the course of all of the classes, just little snapshots of looking at materials, writing things down, taking notes, the presenters, things along those lines. And we'll be updating those on the Facebook page as well as on the website where it's applicable. For those of you who haven't already liked the Facebook page for the cafe, it can be found on Facebook at Shen Valley Entrepreneur Cafe. So please, I encourage all of you to go and like it. And kind of keep an eye on it so that if we post something that tags J&W Farm or tags one of your businesses, that you can share it out onto your Facebook page so your friends and your family see it, which may encourage them to come and attend the final night if you're one of the final competitors and help with that audience favorite vote. Leslie didn't touch on that, and I'll...
No, you were going to talk about the the prize money.
Okay.
I'll let you.
So make sure that you sign those and that you give them to myself or to Felicia before you leave this evening, because we'll be making Facebook posts tonight. We don't want to get anybody upset that we've used their photo without their permission or any of that sort of thing. As far as the prize packages go, like Leslie mentioned, we do have up to $5,000 to award in cash. That will come as a check in a form of reimbursement or payable directly to vendors. But then we have a marketing package that is also going along with that. And part of the marketing package includes $1,000 worth of advertising for the Northern Virginia Daily. It includes a 30-minute radio show on the River953.com. Well, the River953, I'm so used to saying .com. They do a segment every day called The Valley Today from 12:30 to 1. And if you are a winner, you will get to host that 30-minute show and talk about your business and your experience with the cafe and that sort of thing. They are also offering a 30-day web banner on their website that you will get at no charge. I'm offering a social media audit package to take a look at all of your social media networks, see what's working, see what's not, and give you some guidance and advice on how to get more bang for it for the most part. And then you will get a 1-year membership in the Top of Virginia Regional Chamber, Luray Page, Chamber of Commerce, Currle Warren County Chamber of Commerce, and the Shenandoah County Chamber of Commerce. So that's going to open you up to being able to go to all of their networking events and be able to meet people, get your name listed in their directories and on their websites, and kind of help you from a marketing perspective as well. So,
and we've got some other things we're working on too. We'll update you.
There may be more, but wait, there might be more. So that's kind of the gist of most of it.
We want to talk too. We're participating. Hopefully every one of you picked up this flyer. Please post this in your business. We want people to know that you're participating in this. I think it's a great way for you to get the word out about what you're doing, how you're trying to better yourself. Plus, it lets your customers know, have them come on that night so they can vote for you.
Yes.
All right?
The second part, or the second prize, so to speak, is going to be an audience favorite vote. So on the 19th, when the top 5 come to compete, we're asking you to invite your colleagues, your family, your friends. It will be a $10 charge at the door. Tickets are also available now from the website. And everyone who comes in and pays their $10 gets one vote. So what's going to happen is you're going to do all of your pitches, and then the judges are going to determine who is the grand prize winner. But the audience is also going to vote for which of the 5 of you they'd like to see their $10 invested in. So it could be that we have one winner that wins the grand prize, but a whole different winner from the audience perspective. And the prize that you will collect is everything that we collect at the door. So we have 100 people in the door at $10 a head. You're going to walk away with a little bit of cash in your pocket as well. So
the
that's
party's on you that night.
Yes. Yeah. So yes, it's somewhat of a popularity contest. So you kind of have to invite everyone, but we want to make sure that you're letting everyone know that this is what's going on, and we've got that flyer. If you're chosen to be in the top 5, we'll modify that a little bit and make it so you can tell them to come and vote for you and that sort of thing.
One of the things we'll also do is we'll take this flyer, send it as a PDF. That way, through your website, through your Facebook, what other outlets you have, you can certainly send this out to all of your customer base.
Awesome. All right, that's it. I'm going to defer to you to defer to Marilyn.
Okay, all right. All right, well, I've known Marilyn personally for quite a few years now. I've got her bio here. Marilyn Finnemore, she's the owner of Bright Box and Bright Center. She was nominated for Entrepreneur of the Year, the Top of Virginia Regional Chamber Greater Good Award, and the naming sponsor for this year's for our first annual Regional Entrepreneur Cafe. So thank you, Marilyn. She really stepped up here for us. Marilyn is also the owner of the Bright Center and the Bright Box Theater in Old Town Winchester. Dr. Marilyn Finnemore is also CEO of Mind and Media in Alexandria, Virginia. With postgraduate degrees in English from Idaho State University and Virginia Tech and a bachelor's in finance from Virginia Tech, she blends creativity with excellent communication and sound business practices to create dynamic, creative businesses. Besides being an experienced entrepreneur, Marilyn is a passionate equestrian, hiker, world traveler. Just follow her on Facebook and you'll get the vacations of a lifetime, believe me. Having traveled to over 40 countries and written over 20 books on her experiences. The Bright Center, it says Bright Center description, I'm reading it. With keen vision into what things can be, Marilyn and her husband Oliver bought the Bright Center 10 years ago when Old Town Winchester was nascent in its revitalization. They poured money and heart into the building, and Marilyn gave extensively over time and expertise to help turn Old Town into the wonderful place it is today, and I can say that from personal experience, she really has. She was one of the first ones, and I'm going off track a little bit, but she was one of the first ones who opened her back door so that the visitors and the people who were parking in the back lot could walk through. She didn't. She welcomed that, and that is something so simple, but what a difference it made. So thank you for seeing that opportunity. Besides renovating the nearly 40,000 square foot of Bright Center, formerly the old Leggett department store, and filling it with small businesses, she started the Bright Buzz, an innovative co-work space, and was one of the founders of the Winchester Main Street Foundation, and served for 8 years on the Old Town Development Board. All this while serving as CEO for Minded Media, the company she and Aldo started 25 years ago. Recently, Marilyn has begun to hold brown-bagged lunches for Winchester entrepreneurs to mentor several young people who've shown strong leadership skills. The Bright Box Theater, that she also owns, is a dynamic performance and event venue located in the heart of Winchester, Virginia, on the Old Town Walking Mall. Besides showcasing some of the best music and performances in the area, Bright Box is also a superb venue for comedy shows, creative private parties, and fundraising events. And weren't you just nominated, or didn't you just win for one of the 50 theaters?
50 best performance venues in America.
In America, on the Old Town Walking Mall. So, Marilyn,
thank you.
Sure.
Thank you. It is such a pleasure to be here. I can't tell you. I have wanted to be involved in a group like this ever since I moved, or I came to the Shenandoah Valley. I think it is so important to build an entrepreneurial culture in a place for it to be vital. And so I'm so happy to see all of you here, and to hear all the diverse businesses that you're involved in. I think you can tell from the intro that I'm a serial entrepreneur. I have always been an entrepreneur ever since I was a little girl. I was drawing posters and selling them at the country fair, and I've always had business after business. I never seem to get rid of my businesses. I just keep adding and, having to be a better time manager and juggling. And fortunately, I love it. I absolutely love creating something from nothing. That it's so exciting. It's so much fun to do, and it's exciting to build a place that I've always wanted to work in. I worked in a variety of places during my career, and I didn't particularly like it. I always had criticisms about what they needed to do better and how they needed to build their culture, so I had to go out and do it myself. And so that's what I've done. I wanted to say that I think one of the reasons that I have been a successful entrepreneur is that I believe in lifelong learning. You are never finished with your learning, ever. The second you think you're an expert, you'd better watch out, because the competitors are right behind you, and the young people coming in know a whole lot more than you do about certain things. And so you always, always have to be learning. And we live in this amazing culture now where, you can learn anything you want to online. You just get online and you can learn. Of course, you have to also be scrupulous about what you're believing online. You have to know how to ask the right questions, always be asking the right questions, always be going out and finding more information. I love the fact that here in the Shenandoah Valley, there are so many groups like the Chamber of Commerce and all the groups that were mentioned, where you have the ability to reach out and create a whole networking system. I would encourage you to take advantage of that. Really reach out to the Small Business Development Center. Get them to help you. This here that you're going to do over the next next month, this is only the beginning. You should not think of this as an ending point. This is a beginning point for your education. Of course, a lot of you have probably been educated all the way up to this point. This is the next little milestone. But then, if you're going to be a successful entrepreneur, you're going to have to constantly go out there and get more and more and more information. The second you run into a problem, you'll need to go through a whole other learning curve. How am I going to fix this? What am I going to do to solve it? And reach out to your community to help you. Reach out online, go back to school, whatever, but you're going to have to figure it out. So I just wanted to say that if I can give you any piece of advice at all, it's that. It's that you really need to always be learning more and more. There's no ending point. And that's what's so exciting about it. That's what's so exciting about being an entrepreneur. So you will see me again. I'm coming back for the final judging, which I can't wait. Some of the ideas that you've shared tonight seem really fascinating. And I like the fact that there's a mix of things from ag businesses to adventure companies to, you know, the photo booth and all of these, and the sport and all the stuff that's so cool for this area. And I hope that when you get your businesses going, that you stay here, because this area needs you. This is a great place to be. I'm so happy that I found it. I'm from Western New York, which is very similar to this area, but unfortunately Western New York doesn't have the advantages that this area does. You've got the highway systems coming in here, you've got an international airport, you've got the community colleges, Shenandoah Conservatory, you've got all these amazing things here. This is a great place to start a company, so I hope you stay. Oh yeah. Great walkable communities. Okay, and I look forward to seeing you in April and hearing your pitches. And please stop and see me at the theater. Come see a show. Thanks. Does anybody have any questions? I'm happy to answer anything.
Don't be shy. Take advantage of it now.
All right. Yeah, go ahead.
David Lang, them coming back anytime soon?
Who?
David Lang, Linda.
Yeah. I know that they moved, right? And I know that they're in an agribusiness too. I know that a couple of folks associated with the band are going to be doing a performance very soon up in the out of the box upstairs. We just opened up another performance space upstairs. So all the folks associated with Springfield Exit are going to be up there in the next month, but they'll be back. Okay. We love those guys. They're awesome. Yeah, they are. Yeah.
What made you decide to expand into the arts?
Well, I have a PhD in English, and so I kind of have an affinity for that. I love that, but that isn't necessarily my background. My main focus is on building communities. If I was put on this earth for anything, it was to create places that are meaningful to people. Old Town Winchester is one of those places. 10 years ago, it wasn't so much. It had kind of fallen by the wayside because of everything that had happened, sprawl. But when I saw Winchester and how it was built, I fell 100% in love with it. But one of the things that was needed was to bring the creative class down into Old Town and to bring the arts. And so I've been very much involved in helping to, many other people involved too. That's been one of my central focuses on helping to build downtown. Brightbox is that. Music is art. But we've been working with Kim, with Wham, and all kinds of art things happening down there, also that I've been kind of connected to in some weird way. Yeah. To me, it's hard to put I have background in finance, and it's hard to put a number on art. But all the studies show that all the communities that do particularly well have art as one of their primary focal points.
Did you get any pushback from the arts community coming at it with a finance background?
People think I'm odd, I think.
In a good way.
They think I'm kind of strange because I personally feel that artists need to, if you want to make a business, because a lot of artists, if you just want to do your art, that's fine, but don't expect that you're going to make any money at it. But for it to be sustainable, you have to have a business model. And my company, Mind and Media, where I've made my money down in Alexandria, is also art-based. We're a company of videographers, graphic artists, writers. That's what we are. But we've found ways of leveraging those skill sets to make them pay. We're more designers than artists, because designers are designing for a specific goal. And so I have worked with artists for years, helping them take a concept and making it make money. Not making a fortune, but that's another thing I have a real issue with. I think people are way too focused on just making $1 million. but that's not where you go. I personally think that one of the best ways to focus is on making your business sustainable, making your life sustainable, so that, you know, I could talk forever on that subject, so don't get me started. We need to get going, but I would love to, if any of you have any questions, just come talk to me. Thank you. All right.
Thank you, Marilyn. We're going to get started here, I promise, but I'm going to give you a little, I don't know if you guys know anything about the SBDC, but I'm going to give a short little, pitch to let you know that we're a resource in the community. The SBDC is here, and some of you guys know it, some maybe you don't. It's a confidential, free service where we counsel people either starting their business or people who have a business and have questions or need things. We're here, we're right over here in the Currle building. We also have an office in Fairfax, or in Warrington and Culpeper, but we cover this area. We cover Shenandoah County, we cover Warren County, we cover on 8 counties, but for you guys here, we're here for you, and we are, like I said, it's a free and it's a confidential service. So, because we're talking about money in a lot of cases, we don't want people don't want to talk about, so that's good. But we're a resource, just to let you know, and you're going to learn a lot of things in this next month. But for now, just let you know we're here. So call us up. I'll give you my card later. Call us up, make an appointment. We're great. We're going to start with Andrew here. We're going to give you a little on his bio. Andrew's passion has always been to work with small businesses. He started his first hobby-turned-business in 2005, and hopefully he's going to talk about that, begin his foray into woodworking. So that's not a banker, which he is now. The initial business launch led him to pursue his entrepreneurial education through James Madison University, majoring in management with concentration in technology, innovation, and entrepreneurship. Andrew has completed his business plan within his studies at the College of Business and has pursued his small business aspirations ever since. Andrew graduated from James Madison in 2009, completed his master's in 2011. He is a certified manager with the Institute of Certified Professional Managers out of Harrisonburg. He has been working in the banking and finance industry for 7 years, retail management in 4. So I think he has a lot of knowledge, and we're going to spend some time, about an hour with him. And by the way, we might go a little long. We said we'd be out of here by 7:30 because of all of the things in the beginning. I think we're going to be a little pushed, so hopefully you can stay till we get, 7:30, 8 o'clock. Okay? Hopefully it doesn't keep it too late. But anyway, Andrew?
Thank you, Dave. All right, let's see. Usually, as Dale mentioned, I've been with JMU in their master's degree program as well as their undergraduate degree program. And part of their management development in the College of Business is the first class you take when you enter the College of Business is writing a business plan. Because every single part of a business plan and every single thing that you do over the next 6 weeks covers every single principle of management, operations, finance, marketing, and sales. It's going to be a lot of information just kind of crammed into 6 weeks. So hopefully it'll be a wonderful 6 weeks. And Marilyn, it was wonderful hearing your bio. I almost feel like I should be sitting down and listening to you speak. So to get started, one of the things that I wanted to do was in researching and reading back up on some of the things that I had gone over at JMU, I came across a quote that I thought crystallized a business plan down to a very deep sentence and had a lot involved. And I'm going to read it because I did not want to paraphrase and miss anything. A business plan is a genetic, molecular definition of my business DNA and how it is unique and how it clarifies why my customers do business with me. So there are a few things in that quote that I thought were rather important. There we go. And the first one was remembering that a business plan defines your business. It is going to incorporate in all of its pieces why you do what you do, and it is going to kind of give you a guide on what you want to do moving forward. The end result of the business plan is going to have a timeline, have to-dos, things that you want to get done. And if you don't have a good definition of where you are now and where you want to be, it's not going to be as clear when you reach the end. The other important thing is why. Why should customers work with you? Why are you in the business that you're in? Understanding that will not only help you write the business plan, but also when you go out and sell or go out and talk with your customers, they'll be able to come in and say, this is exactly what you're offering. The value of your business with, we have auto repair. If someone can't get to work, they can't keep their job. If they can't keep their job, then you have a wonderful circle. So with every business here, you have value that you're presenting to the customer. In the business plan, you want to define that down to its very basic DNA and be able, in week number 4, they're going to be talking about a 30-second elevator speech. And that is going to be the distillation of every single part of your business plan into a 30-second conversational style kind of speech. And then, most importantly, what is it that you do? Is it just being a car mechanic, or is it just being an event planner, or helping someone throw a good party? What is it that really creates that environment, as Marilyn said, in creating, I think I can quote you, creating a location, creating a place in a geographic area that people want to be and where people want to grow their businesses and their lives? What is it about your business that is passionate for you? So, I actually interned and worked with a financial advisor for several years before I went to JMU. And the fun question that everybody asks if you work for a financial advisor is, what is the hot tip of the week? What is the stock that's going to get me the most money? And very early on, I created this response to them, which was, don't buy stocks, start a business. And with every business, you're going to have three basic things. And I'm going to be honest, I stole this from an Entrepreneur Magazine article. I could not find the article, so I can't tell you exactly which one it was from. But this is not mine, it is somebody else's work. The first aspect of starting a business is team. And you have a team with the Small Business Development Center. You have a team with the board members who are advising on this. They all want you to succeed. You also, working in the banking industry, we sit down with entrepreneurs as well as just regular consumers every day and talk about what are your goals and how are you going to get there. And we focus mainly on the financial side. But your accountants, your lawyers, your small business development centers, you have a team of individuals. And as Marilyn said, in this area, you have so many groups that are willing to try and help you succeed. Reaching out and really plugging into those networks will help you take your business to the next level. Even if you're a one-man show or a one-lady show, you still have a team that you can work with that will give you ideas and things that you can act on. The next thing is you have an idea. Now, without the team, without you, the people around you who can help you get there, that idea won't go anywhere. And so usually, I like to say you need to start with the people first, and then you can take your idea to the next level. But the most important thing is going to be your plan. My grandfather, when I was very young, every single one of my cousins, and I have 14 cousins, all of us, if you went up to one of us and said, what is the one thing that he told you over his entire life? And that was one phrase, which was lay a plan and work a plan. And he started 2 businesses in the Northern Virginia area, took one all the way to selling it to care for his wife who was actually dying of cancer. And then he started a second business with his son and took that one all the way till he retired. And the one thing that he said, as I said, to repeat it again, lay a plan and work the plan. So now that we've talked a little bit about why you want to have your business plan and the importance of business plan, what are the sections within the business plan that you're going to be covering and you're going to be building your research, you're going to be building your writing around? Let's see. There are 7 aspects to a business plan that you are going to be building. They're going to cover a range of subjects. It's going to be some very fine-tuning of your writing, going in-depth, starting at a very macro level and working micro. The first page of most business plans, and I'm going to do this in the order that you typically see presented, but the order that I have it on here is not the order that you need to follow for your business plan. You can rearrange some of these. You can put it in a different order. Whatever is going to be most powerful for presenting your business and selling your idea. Starting with the executive summary. The executive summary is going to be your business plan on a page. You could take it out every month, take a look at it, and say, this is why I'm in business, this is what I'm going to do, put it away, and keep running that week, bring it out whenever you need inspiration. But it will have the large majority of the key points in your business plan. You're going to want to build your company description. What is it that you do? It's going to go into market analysis, the market of the geographical area of the Shenandoah Valley, the market of being in the car repair industry, the market of being in event planning or in agribusiness. How is that industry doing? What is the outlook for that? And how is that going to impact your business in this area or in the surrounding areas? Organization and management. Is it just you that's running this business, or do you have people that are in this business with you? Are they paid employees, or are they board of advisors that may just be helping you in guiding, but are not wanting to be actively owning or involved in the business on a day-to-day level? The biggest part of business, in my mind, is the product or the service. This is what gets customers in the door because they need something, and it gets money in your bank account because you're able to exchange something for it. So this is one of the important parts of the business plan, in knowing what it is that you are doing. Why are you in business? What is it that you offer? And then knowing the need from your market of why that product is valuable. And then finally, the part that can either be complete drudgery or absolutely inspirational, depending on who you are, the financial projections. And these are going to be typically 1 to 5 years. Can be 1 to 3 years, 1 to 5 years, but a little bit of a view into the future, that if what you do in your business follows, when you capture market share, what profits you will have, how you will scale your business, what you expect to see in the future, those projections are what your banker likes to see. What is the profitability? Where is this going? But it's also giving you an idea of maybe things that you need to change. So let's break them down a little bit further. Within your executive summary, you are going to want to start with pretty much all the sections of your business plan. For an existing business, this could be, what is your mission statement? What is it that you tell customers, this is why we're here? Working with a bank, the mission statement that they had was to enrich the lives and the communities of the people we serve. Very short, very sweet, and very heartwarming. But that is actually the reason why we were there, was to go into communities, work with the people that were there, the businesses, and see if we could make it a richer, more fulfilling place, not just financially, but also as a community. For a company that is existing, you can put in highlights. How many cars have you worked on? What was your growth over the last year, if you've been in business for more than 1 year? What was the growth over those years? What were the challenges that you ran into that you overcame? It's a positive outlook on what it is that you have done. And even for an emerging business, one that you are just opening, what is it that you want to do? What is the need in your industry? What is the need in your community that you are trying to resolve? And how is that going to entail into growth? As you grow your business, as you serve more customers, and as you serve more clients, how is that growth going to be shown to those that are going to be looking at your plan? What is the description that you want to see, so that 5 months down the road you can look back and go, you know what? We got to where we wanted to go. We know where the road was. My supervisor where I work actually said, either look where you're driving or drive where you're looking. And so having the growth highlights, having all of these together are going to help you to either look where you're driving or hopefully start driving where you want to be looking. You're going to briefly describe your product or service, what it is you offer, and then a little bit of that financial information. Why is it that you're presenting this business plan? It could be a business plan for yourself. You want to know what you're going to do over the next 12 months to 3 years. It may be that you're going to a venture capitalist and you're trying to gather funding. It could be that you're going to your banker and you say, I need a loan and I want to just acquire a piece of equipment that'll help me to further my business. But the executive summary is going to give a person a quick 1-2 on what it is that you are, why you're doing it, and what you're looking for in the future. So jumping into the market analysis, and I'd like to spend a little bit of time here as well. Market analysis is not just looking at what the industry is doing or what your business is doing. You want to start with an industry outlook, looking at where your industry fits with the overall industry. You can look, one of the simple methods of calculating this would be to go out, and the Federal Reserve has an excellent database of resources that I think Dale, Maza, and Jim have access to. And they can help you take a look at which industry should you be looking at. Where do you fit? There we are. Which industry do you fit into, and what is the outlook? If the economy is growing and the industry that you're looking at has been going down in growth for the past few years, why is that? One of the best examples that I like to give on this is Cirque du Soleil, when they first started. They looked at an industry which was theater, which was very stable and mature. It wasn't exactly growing by leaps and bounds. And they looked at the circus industry, which was actually growing smaller every year. And they merged the two industries together and said, we are going to put on a theatrical show that will be moving to different locations, and it will be a theater like no one has ever seen before. So you can look at your industry and you can say, you know what, the farm industry in the Warrenton, Plains, and Marshall area, the farm industry is going down, but agribusiness is going up. How are those numbers different? What is different about that is causing an agribusiness to be a good business to be in, whereas a large farm may not? You're going to want to start looking at your target market. As you work from the industry national levels, from the regional level down to the city level, who is it that you're selling your good or your service to? For the event planners that are here, how many events are being hosted within this region every year? What radius are you looking at for your business? Is it 50 miles that you would travel to and want to host a business? Is it 100 miles? What kind of events are you putting on? Once you know your target market, which could be anything from weddings, I think we had nonprofits and sports. When you're looking at kind of that being your target market, it sounds like we have a very narrow target market, which is excellent. You can figure out the qualifications, the characteristics. For auto repair, what kind of cars do you want to work on? What cars do you want to specialize in? Do those owners live around here? There's a specialty car place in Front Royal, but there are so many different other auto repair mechanics that are there. Is the population growing in your area? Which here in the Shenandoah Valley, we have a very interesting place that Marilyn touched on, where you have growth from Northern Virginia that's encroaching this way. And we are right now defining how we want to interact with that growth and who we want to be as an economy and as a group. And how can our businesses take all of that influx of people and turn it into an exchange and grow our businesses? As you work from the national, regional, local level and you start figuring out those target markets, that's going to give you your market share estimate. How do you think that you can get a portion of the pie? If the pie that your business operates in is $200, you may want to try for the whole pie. But if it is a $2 billion industry that you're looking at, how is it that you're going to break into that? What is the market share that you're gunning for? Because if you're looking for a 25% market share in a $2 billion industry and you're starting right now, you're going to have some serious scalability in your business. You're going to have to go from 0 to 60 very fast. If you're in a smaller industry with still a large number of customers, you may be able to grow a little bit more slowly. All of this flowing into your pricing and margin targets. As you know your target market, how much do they spend? Where do they shop? Who are they? Is it male or female? In working in retail management, we had our target market was a 35 to 65-year-old female, which most people wouldn't have said, well, why would you pick the female? Well, I was working in the pharmaceutical industry in a pharmacy, and most of the caretakers tended to be female. They were overworked in trying to drive their kids to soccer games, trying to get them to school, after-school activities, get home. I might still be thinking about what it is for dinner. So when they came in, or if they had a child who was sick, they had so many things on their plate. They looked at it and said, you know what? There's milk at the back. There's this over here. Instead of making a trip where I can go to somewhere less expensive, I can take my time, stop here, and while I'm filling a prescription, shop around the store. Men generally ran in, grabbed their prescriptions, or ran through the drive-thru and got out because they typically did not have, for that market area, they typically did not have the time to stop, wait for a minute, get the prescription filled. They were on their way to work. They were on their way home from work. They had their wife calling them saying, we've got 3 or 4 things that you need to do tonight, so I need you to hurry home. So more focused in a buying style, knowing that about your customer on how they're going to come into your store or how they're going to come into your event or your agribusiness, how are they going to interact with the full picture? That going into the pricing. For us, we knew that we could charge a little bit higher on prices than other stores in the area because of that convenience factor of I can grab the 3 things that are here, be out the door, whereas you're going to take 10 more minutes to go across town, find parking. Knowing that we had a higher pricing margin and we were looking for a very small market share. As a smaller store, we only needed a select number of people to actually enter the store. And also being a pharmacy was great because you had doctors sending people to you every day. But that will also help you with your competitive analysis. Where is it that you fit among your competitors? So if you know what industry you're in, what market you're targeting, who your customer is, and how much of that market share you're looking for, well, all of your competitors are doing the same. As Marilyn said, your competitors, the younger entrepreneurs or those who are just starting out, they may have an edge. They're looking for the same thing that you're looking for. And within a industry analysis, there's 5 kind of competitive factors and questions that you may want to ask. The first one is, how is my service or product, how does it stand alone, and how easily can I switch, or can a consumer switch from one product to another? For the Bright Box Theater, if they have a band that's going to be there, the kind of ability to switch would be, well, you know what, they're going to be playing in Strasburg a couple weeks from now. Do I want to drive to Strasburg or do I want to go to Winchester? For the Bright Box Theater, you have a very captive audience for those who live right downtown. They're not going to want to drive out of town, so it's a very competitive place to be in that downtown walkable environment. The second one is your supplier power. Marilyn, I'm sorry to pick on the Bright Box, but with a theater, you have suppliers. Those are going to be your artists, your food and vendors, your drink vendors. How much power do they have to dictate what their prices are to you? For some artists, if you have a very well-known national band, they're going to come in and say, this is how much you get to pay me. And you get to say either yes or maybe no, or let's try and reconvene in a few weeks and see if you still feel this way. Whereas for a more local band that doesn't have the 50 million or really 500 venues competing for their time, you can go in and say, this is an ability for you to reach 200, 300 people, or 50 to 100. I don't know the size. I will be there this month, though. So understanding that supplier, what do they bring to the table? If you're, there's one example of a restaurant in Front Royal, and they actually had Budweiser show up at their door and say, we're here to open up the taps. And that restaurateur said, I don't want to serve Budweiser. I'm doing craft. And I'm just doing craft. And they looked at him like he was crazy. But he turned them away. Well, in that business, if you're dealing with someone like Budweiser, you're dealing with Anheuser-Busch and some of the others, InBev, you're looking at something where you don't necessarily get to call them up and say, you know what, we're going to negotiate on the price here. They kind of show up and say, we're here to open the kegs. We're here to get everything started. So with your suppliers, do you have an ability to negotiate with them, or do they have all of the power? The next item is going to be your buyer power. Are buyers able to tell, do they have a lot of price discrimination? When you walk up to the toothpaste section in a pharmacy, I'll use that example because I know it well. When you walk up and you see all of the toothpaste laid out, you as the consumer have the power to go eeny, meeny, miny, mo, which is almost the only way you can pick a toothpaste anymore. But you have the ability to differentiate. You can pick one or the other. In some businesses, they may not have that. You may be the only person in town. You may be the only person with the part or the beer or the agriculture product that they need or that they want. So let's see. Now I'm going to try a blank on the fourth one. Barriers to entry. What barriers are there to somebody entering your space? Within agribusiness, what is it that sets you apart that somebody would have to either acquire or obtain that would let them start a business like yours? In event planning, it's very similar. What is it about your event planning system or how you do it that could stop somebody from entering that business? If you don't have a lot of things that would stop somebody from entering the same business you're in, then it's going to be a highly competitive environment. You may be looking at a lower price model that you want to sell your goods or services at. And that is something that you're going to want to bring back to the plan and say, you know what? Anybody could start my business, but not anybody can run my business. And I'm the person who's running this one. And this is why I know what needs to be done better than anybody else, or I am providing something that no one else is providing. So all of those factors, those 4 factors, will bring you to your competitive analysis of an industry. One of the biggest barriers to entry is regulatory restrictions. And I always use the example of for-profit prisons. It doesn't matter how you feel about for-profit prisons, but the interesting thing is that you would have to, A, own a massive space. B, you'd have to know somebody who can get you a contract for a prison, because you can't run a prison with 5 prisoners. You'll be losing money. So you need to have a group, a large contract coming in. So within your regulatory environment, that can be something that sets you up for a massive start. You need to get in with a lot of capital. You need to get in with a lot of support. You need to have a lot of people behind you. Or it could be that you have lower regulatory restrictions. Now, next week, I know they're going to be talking, and it's a professor from Shenandoah University whose name is escaping me, but they're going to be talking more on the organization and management, how you want to structure your business. What is the cash flow? But for your business plan, how are you organizing this business? Is it going to be a sole proprietorship? Is it going to be a corporation? Are you running this yourself, or are you going to have employees? You need to know how that's going to be laid out, because you're going to want to know your payroll costs. Is it going to be, how much are you going to pay yourself? Because unless you have very deep pockets, you're still going to want to plan in a paycheck to yourself, at least to see if you can afford it. And if you can, by hitting your market share goal, are you going to be able to make the money that you need to make this business work? Ownership information. Is this going to be your business? Or are you going to need venture capitalists where they can come in and say, for a portion of your business, we will help you grow it. We will give you access to our networks and people that we know in the industry. And in a few years, we will either let our portion of this business go to a new investor, or we will be bought out. Knowing how you want this business to be owned. Is it going to be leveraged by a bank? Is it going to be leveraged from your own personal capital? And who is it that owns the business is going to be important to how profits are differentiated. Who is guiding the business? If you have equal partners in a business and one wants to go one way and the other wants to go the other, you might have an issue. And putting into the plan, there's a great example. The organization that controls mixed martial arts, and I cannot remember the title of it. It was two brothers who owned the business, and they took it from absolutely mixed martial arts was not on the national scene to being almost as big, if not bigger, than boxing in Las Vegas on TV. They had a very interesting way of deciding things when the two owners started butting heads on a decision. And that was, they got the boxing gloves out, and they had a mixed martial arts fight. And whoever won, that was the decision they went with. So writing that into your business plan can be fun. You can look at it and say, you know what, this may be something we run into. Let's find a creative solution to it. And approaching it in advance means that you're not sitting at the table wanting to go into a mixed martial arts fight with the other person, but you could already have it planned out. So the important question, I like to say, I think I said it before, the basis of all business, what is your service? What is your product? Define it out as detailed as you can. It can be anything from, and this is going to test my memory because I left my note card on what we have in the room. It can be anything from helping people to organize. What type of organization you like to do? Is it we're coming in and we're cleaning out the garage? Is it we're going to come in and clean out and organize your house? Or is it we're going to organize your life? Because as a banker, I always like to say, I help people organize. I help you organize your finances. I hopefully help you organize your financing. And I'm hoping that I can help you organize your future by helping you to get into the financing or investments that you need to be in. So differentiating down exactly what it is that you're going to do when you sell to a person and say, this is who I am, this is what I do on the street. They can go, you know what? I'm going to call Marcia, and she's going to help me clean out this closet that I've been looking at for 3 years and constantly say that I'm going to get to it. Well, now we can knock it out in a weekend, and I know where to start because Marcia said she knows where to start, and I'm going to call her. You need your description. And that description will lead into where you are in the life cycle. Is this a new product that no one has ever seen on the market before? Is this something that you're going to have to spend a lot of money getting information out about? Is this an app on a cell phone where you need to let people know it's there? Or is it somebody who gets up in the morning and gets into their car, turns the key, and nothing happens? And they say, you know what? There's a mechanic out there somewhere. I just need to know that Bill's the one that I'm going to call. So where you are in the product life cycle will help you decide where you want to approach your marketing, where you want to attack your market share, how you're going to go in and say, in the event planning business, there are, we'll say, 30 events planners in this area. Why is it that they're going to call me? Because it's a very mature industry. There's some established players in this field. What is it that I can do to jump in a growth market or a mature market and carve out my own space? Within your business plan, you're going to want to bring out your organizational structure of your products. Is it multiples? What are their costs? What are you going to have to do for storage? Depending on your business, you're going to have different things that you're going to want to put in. But how are you organizing that product? And there's a great tool out there which is called and I was just talking about it earlier today. We'll get back to it. But it basically guides you through where does your product come from? Is it a product that has multiple people upstream that you're purchasing things from, that you have to store, you're turning it into something new, and that you're going to then take and sell to somebody else? Is your organization for that product, are you selling to wholesalers? Are you selling to a distributor? Or are you selling directly to the consumer? Or are you selling to businesses? With research and development, you're going to want to state, is this a product that is mature? I have everything thought out, everything planned? Or is this something where I'm going to need to take about $10,000 or $5,000 and we're going to plug it into turning this from where it is now into something that it has a greater need. It will solve even more issues for the consumer. So are you going to be putting any money into research and development? Marketing and sales. There we go. Within this section, you're going to be covering everything from, and this is going to be how detailed-oriented you are. To jump aside there, change tracks. In marketing and sales, the more detail-oriented you can get, and from my perspective, the better you are set for success. You're going to want to look at how you're penetrating the market. Are you going to try and charge a higher price and do what's called market skimming, where it's a high price, but we only need to hit 10, 15, 20 events, cars, organizational individuals who need organization. You know, are you going to be charging a higher price because you have a premium product that people will spend the money for? Or are you going to take an approach where you need to have a low-cost product that will be sold to a large number of individuals? What is the growth that you're seeking through marketing? Are you using online? Are you reaching out using networking groups to grow your network and reach people who may need or know somebody who needs your product? Are you online? Are you on the radio with your name being heard? How are your customers hearing about you? Let's see here. Distribution is key in your marketing, because if you're selling online, you want to make sure that your distribution network can handle any bursts in orders or slow times. I know everyone here has probably heard of the Oprah effect. You go on Oprah, you all of a sudden have 10,000 orders, and the business owner goes, you know, I never thought I'd actually get 10,000 orders. So we're going to have to hold on a second while I figure that out. Knowing how you're going to distribute your product. Is it scalable? Pursuing opportunities in marketing, either locally, regionally, or nationally, that you can handle, that you are able to serve your customers in a manner that creates a customer experience that they will come back. They will return to your website, they will return to your store, they will return to your shop. And communication. This is going to be, Java Media, I know, is going to cover this in a much better manner than myself. But communication, reaching out online, reaching out in multiple venues, genres, and ways to touch your customers in every aspect of life, wherever they are. In sales, something to consider is, are you going to need a sales force? Are you doing this all on your own? Are you doing this through online stores? How is it that that transaction is going to take place and that money is going to be placed in your account? And what activities? This is the biggest one for me. I worked in an organization where every day they would give us a call and say, we want you to grow. We want you to have sales. We want you to get something done. And half the time we'd raise our hand and go, you do realize there's 2 people in this branch. And we can't walk out the front door because we have a vault back there that needs 2 people in front of it. So if you want this place to grow, the activities we need to do are talking to people, talking to people, talking to people. And unless they're coming in the door, we need to go out and talk to them. So knowing what is that sales activity that is going to cause that exchange to happen, your service, where a dollar bill flows into your account and somebody walks away from your business or wherever you're selling or wherever you're doing business and walks away happy. Within your business plan, if you have any funding needs, if you have any growth that you're looking to do, that you're going to need financing, that you're going to need support, putting that into your business plan as a section and outlining. In order to grow 10% in sales over the next year, we're going to need to increase our manufacturing capabilities, or we're going to need to reach out to more people. You want to include that in the business plan in a very detailed manner so that somebody can look at it and right away understand what it is you're asking the money for, how that money is going to get paid back. And if you really want to make a banker happy, put in 2 forms of payback. If this business does not turn out the way we want, if this growth does not go where we think it'll go, and we don't get the market share that we're predicting in this plan, how are we going to pay back the person that we borrowed money from, be it a family friend, a banker, or a venture capitalist? How are you going to close down the business can be a very important part of a business plan. Dale had talked about the first business that I started in 2005. I started that business because my dad at the time, or my stepdad, had taken me to a wood turning meeting. And at the time, he was just starting in wood turning. My mom had bought him a lathe for his anniversary present. And we went to the meeting, and there was a gentleman there who was demonstrating how to turn a wood turn pen. And I looked at it as a 14-and-a-half-year-old boy and said, I can do that. And second of all, and most importantly, I can make money doing that. And so when we got home, I got online and borrowed $300 from my parents and ordered all sorts of pen kits, wood, everything that would go into starting a pen business. Never wrote a business plan, never thought about it. Got down into the shop, and I always like to say I stole my lathe from my dad. And over the next few years, in person-to-person sales, going to networking meetings, my mom was in networking meetings every single week, so I'd show up, 14 years old, sitting with doctors and lawyers across the table from me, and I would pitch them on why they need to buy a pen from me. Which, if you've ever seen The Wolf of Wall Street, it's not as simple as it's shown in that movie, where, will you sign this for me? With your funding request, going in and saying, as I did to my parents at that time, I want to start a business, and it's going to be $300, and I have no idea when I'm going to pay you back. I have no idea if I'm going to sell, and I have no idea if anybody is going to buy one of these pens. It only works out when you're 14 and you're going to your parents. When you go to the bank, it doesn't work out as well. So having a business plan that supports your funding request and shows them the reasons behind why you're asking for the money and what you're going to do with it is probably the most important part of a business plan if you're presenting it to others. Now, if you're writing it for yourself and what you want to do over the next 12 months, it may not matter. Financial projections. The financial projections that you're going to want to do. If you're an existing business, what have you done? What is your income statement for the past 2 to 3 years? What is your profit and loss? What is your balance sheet? As well as what is your cash flow? You can put all of those into your business plan, and then you're going to take it and say, you know what? Continuing on current trends, we're looking at this much of a return. If we actually accomplish what we want to do in this business plan, these extra activities, these extra sales, go after a new target market, go after a new group of people that we haven't sold to before, it is going to influence our financials in this way. That is what will get the banker to say, you know what, let's do the loan. Or the family friend to say, I'll give you a little bit of funding. In your business plan, you can provide appendices. This can be anything that you want, really. Anything that would provide value to the person who is reading it, to the audience. If you're going to a banker, it can be a credit report. It can be letters of recommendation. If you're presenting this plan, and one of the things that I have always found powerful about business plans, it is not just an external document. It is also for your internal sales team. So providing an appendix on these are the sales activities, this is the growth we want to do, this is the plan for the business, and you can provide something in there for your internal audience. Something that they can take away and say, this is what I want to do, this is where I want to be a part of the plan, and buy in. This can be anything that you want that provides value and reaches the goal of your plan. All right, so where to start? In the beginning I said there are 7 different aspects to a business plan. Not all of them are, any business plan will be different. One person may start with financials and end with their market share. One person may do financials last and have everything building up to that ultimate reveal. But
Maybe we can turn this one up really loud.
Oh.
Yeah, but you don't have the video.
There we go. Can you all hear me now?
Yeah. We can hear you.
Okay.
We just lost your presentation.
Oh.
But we can hear and see you, but we just don't see the
Okay.
presentation.
Can you hear me now?
Well, the good news is we have only one slide left. So, and I'll try and explain it in a way that you can see what everyone else is seeing. So, in this week, I tried to spend a little bit of time on market analysis, looking at what it is that you're going to look at from
somebody else.
Oh. Give us 1 second.
Okay.
Go ahead. All right. So I've tried to cover today just an idea of what company description you're going to want to write for the business plan, what your market analysis may look like, what questions you want to ask, and kind of defining what is your product or service. That is going to be, from my perspective, one of the best ways to start in how this next 6 weeks is structured, because over the next few weeks, you're going to be talking on organization and management on the 9th and the 16th, and you're also going to be doing some financial projections, I believe, as part of that cash flow discussion. Then after that, we're going to have Java Media do marketing and sales and talk a little bit about online space, many different ways to get your business, your product, your name out. And from the discussion and everything that you've set up for this class, it is going to be a fascinating class to be in. I think it was 3 and 4 were going to be the optional ones. That's one that I would say is not optional. All of them are not optional in my opinion, but that is a very important one. And then on the 23rd, I would say start your executive summary. As you go over the next week, you can think about your market. Where are you? What market share is there? What are you trying to compete for? Who are you trying to compete for? You can look at what company you have. Is it going to be one person? What are your goals? What are you looking to do? And what is your why of being in this business? If you're a startup, you don't have the pleasure of going in and saying, we've got X number of sales last year, we're going to do X number of sales this year. Your why, the reason why you're doing this and why a customer needs your product, that is going to be the most important part of your plan, is showing to somebody that the need is there. So I put a few resources in this. My favorite website, if you're ever bored in the evenings, and this may just be me, and you want something to read, visiting the Small Business Administration's website, they have fascinating articles. They will cover every aspect of writing the business plan. And if you are a template person, I know one person in the room who said he's not a template person, but if you are a template person, they have a template where you can go through and start the bare bones. I would say once you have those bare bones, taking it and turning it into something that is your own is the most important part of that. But the Small Business Administration has amazing content that you can read, you can look at. It'll be able to give you ideas on regulations and regulatory environments, and it'll give you the ability to go to all of your economic statistics, all of your regional statistics. You can find them there. And that is actually, if you want the statistics, it is under, the link is right under the market analysis, if you want to do that. My best recommendation on magazines to look at for inspiration and ideas is Inc. and Entrepreneur Magazine. Both of them cover all aspects of business planning and every part of being an entrepreneur, which is fun and fascinating. And that is all I have for you today. Hopefully you feel a little bit better on what you're looking at over the next 5 weeks, because this will be week 1. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to myself or Dale Mazza. And if you want my contact information, please feel free to grab me today, and I'll make sure that Leslie and the others can email it to you as well. So, Dale, I think you're closing us out tonight.
Thank you, Andrew. Yeah, I think what we're talking about here is the business plan. But the one thing I've underlined and what Andrew mentioned is that it's personal. It's about your business. It's not some form you fill out. It's not something that you just kind of mechanically go down through and put some kind of answer in. It's something that's answering the questions about your business. What's special about it? Why are you doing this? The way I like to break it down is like who you are, what you do, why someone wants to deal with you, and how do you make money at it. That's the best part. If you're not doing this to make money, I question why you're doing it, kind of stuff. So those are the kind of things I think we're going to underline, and we're going to talk about that the next 3 or 4 weeks, and we're talking about the parts and pieces of it that kind of make that just your business plan. So that's the kind of thing. Now again, you've come up with questions. I'm going to give you my business card, or you can call the SBDC. Let me give you the number 540-868-7093, and I'll give you my card. And by the way, we'll hand you out some brochures too, by the way, so that you kind of, little promotion here. But anyway, I think it's a critical piece because it really helps you solve what you're doing for it. And as Andrew said, if it's for you, it's one business plan. If it's for someone that you're trying to get funding, a little bit different, because you have some other questions you have to answer. Like, you gonna pay me back if I loan you the money? That's a big deal. And that's kind of the core. If they can't understand that you can pay them back, you're not gonna get the money, you know? So anyway, so next week, I said that's what we're gonna do this week. Next week, we're gonna go over the cash flow planning and management. I think that's a critical piece if we're talking about doing this and making some money. The outline of the business plan, obviously, understanding the business plan software, which the gentleman from Shenandoah University will be talking about. Leslie's going to be talking about funding, some options for different funding things. It's not always going to the bank, unfortunately for Andrew. It's not always going to the bank. There are other options out there. And there's combinations where it might be the bank and going to put the People Inc. or somebody else. And it's going back to understanding what you need the money for. You know, the other question we always get at the SBDC, I'm going to ramble on here. People are going to go, thought he was just going to talk for a second. But one of the things is people say, I need money to start my business. So I need 50 grand to put into my business. The number one question is going to come back is, for what? And you need to know exactly what you're going to need the money for. That's a critical piece. So if you're sitting there looking at the money, it's not some big fat round number. It's what do you need the money for? Because that's what the questions are going to come back from the bankers or the alternative people. So that's what we're going to talk about next week. The week after is going to be fun. It's forms of business, taxes, license permits, all the legal stuff that you got to work on. Making sure that you're keeping up with the IRS and all those other folks. So making sure that you're set up right. It might be that you're a sole proprietor and you want to go to an LLC. That might be the right way to go. So these are the sources, and these are the things that people are going to help you with. And I think that's, as much as it sounds like, it's very important. And the insurance piece, don't miss that thing. That's Module 3. Module 4, you get a chance to listen to me for a while, because I'm going to give a part on marketing and market research and that type of thing. Janet's going to do e-commerce and social media, which is critical. In this day and age, if you don't have a website, you're not in business. Right, Jen?
Yep. And my part is actually going to require homework. What you've done for the market analysis for your business plan at that point, I want to see it before that night so that I can review it and give you individual advice during my presentation that night. This is what I think you need to improve. Here's where you're falling down. Have you thought about this? So mine's going to be a little bit more interactive probably than just slaps or whatnot. So brace yourself.
Yeah. So what we're going to try to do is give you tools, because as what we're here for and as the SBDC's rules, the only reason we're here is to help you be successful. And that's what we're going to try to underpin all the things we're talking about here. So we're going to do that. Gentleman, Toastmasters is coming. I don't know if you like to talk in front of people. I like to talk in front of people. You can hear, I just sort of go on. And my wife goes, yes, and you go on and you go on. The gentleman from Toastmasters is going to help you understand how to present. Because if you're getting to the point, you're talking about what's important, that's going to make people pay attention to what you're saying. And then you're going to be back.
I am.
Yes, you're going to be back to discuss the business plan again on the 4th module. And then again, we're going to have in the 5th module, we're going to talk about the business plan is due on the 5th module, which is March 30th. Question and answer with the speakers. We're going to run you pretty hard, but I think you're going to get an awful lot out of it. So I think it's going to be fun. Any questions? Now, again, I said, if you have any questions, I'll give you our contact information. Andrew's contact. I'm going to talk. I had to probably say the words right. Contact information. So that if you guys have questions that come up, you say, I'm working on this, I'm looking at this, I'm doing this, I have a question. You can email us, you can call us, whatever it's going to be. I do better with emails because I don't work every day, but I do watch my emails constantly, as my wife does. Yeah, get your head out of the phone. Anyway, but we're here to help you, and there's other resources back there. So if we don't have it, we can push you to the right person. Okay? Any other questions for tonight? Yes, ma'am.
For those of us who are only doing the educational component, can we still turn in our business plans and do the pitch on the 6th?
I would. Yeah, because that's part of what you're going to learn. That's what, because whether you're talking to this group for this contest or you're talking to someone that you're trying to get them to do business with, having those pieces are really, really important.
And we really want everyone to be at the event on the 19th. I think it's going to be a wonderful opportunity. So
everyone who's pitching tonight will receive a certificate at the 19th event, at the major event. So you'll get to come up on stage, your name and your business will be announced, and you'll be handed kind of like
a graduation certificate for participating. So we absolutely want you there on that.
Jan's going to design a really cool
I actually am. Karen emailed me about that this afternoon, so
Yeah,
I got
we'll
it
talk
covered.
about it. Anyway, any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
So I was told that if we are unable to make it to one of the classes.
Oh, okay, you're still on this. Yeah, there's like a weird.
Right, they're all going to be recorded.
Gotcha.
Well, I'm supposed to stand back here, I'm sorry. Anyway, no, they're all recorded, so if you miss one or you want to go over it again, we'll get you the contact to how to go in and get those things. Yeah, we'll send it out to you by email. You're now on our email list, which is dangerous, because we're going to contact you. But I think it's, yes, ma'am.
So for myself and my husband, we're in a partnership LLC. Will he be allowed to come and pitch with me? Or would it be something that I would only do by myself?
Committee? Marla's thinking so. I don't know. I don't think that's.
I would say individually, only
Okay.
because you're not always going to have him with you either. Like Leslie was saying with PowerPoint presentations, if you're coming through the classes, I would almost rather see you be the one that kind of does the final one because you've kind of been there, done that.
If he, like, he's been.
You can bring him as a prop.
He can take the classes and he can take the pitch.
And we can run it out, but I mean, if that's something he's attending classes, couldn't be here tonight.
Okay. Awesome.
All right. Any other questions?
I have one
Yes.
thing too. We have a venture club that meets every month between Winchester and Front Royal, and it's a smaller version, networking opportunity. We have people come in and speak, and if you have questions, we try to find resources for you. Our next meeting will be March 14th at Joe's Steakhouse in Front Royal at 6 p.m. So there's another
Is there a link on?
resource.
Is there a link on the website for this?
No, but I have everyone's email, so I can send more.
Oh, Jan, yeah. Marla will bug you. I mean, she's really good with emails, but you'll find out about it. And that's part of it too, right? John, you've been with those things. It's another opportunity for people to get to know about your business.
Does anybody in Lorraine? Does anybody in Lorraine have questions? I don't want to
Hey,
leave it
Lorraine,
out.
I'm sorry, I backed away. Lorraine, any questions?
No?
Oh, no. Forever hold your peace. If you have questions, again, you can email us and we can make sure we get back to you, all right?